What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Sun Life.
And Katie.
We want to welcome you to our channel. And today we're going to be touring
Labelle.
Labelle, Florida. So let's go for a ride through Labelle, which is in Henry County. This is a small town, predominantly Hispanic. It's a little country, little town right outside of the Southwest Florida metropolitan area. Not too far from Lehigh Acres. This is just a little town that's been growing a little bit, being in Southwest Florida. We're going to start the tour by going into the hood. We recently, well, I wouldn't say recently, maybe about a year, maybe even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We interviewed some guys here in the hood. You can see there's oranges right here in the middle of the city. So this is the hood. We're going to start off in the hood. We interviewed some guys right here in the hood, and there's like a bunch of guys hanging out, and they actually let me record them in their hood, but just kind of talk with them a little bit about their city. And it actually did really well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it did like 12,000 views last time I looked at it. But for some reason, the neighborhoods have a lot of hangout spots where the police is actually, I guess they're over patrolling it. There was a few clashes between law enforcement and the locals, basically, because law enforcement's just always in here, and the people that live here kind of got mad. There's a few issues. Labelle's a great little town. Crime is a little bit higher than in fact, there's law enforcement there, so it almost feels like the residents here just kind of had it with law enforcement always being in here. It's almost like you can't even come in here without law enforcement. And they're gonna let me through there, but they got it blocked off. But anyways, the locals, when we interviewed them, they complained about law enforcement just non-stop being in their little neighborhood. So yeah, this is kind of like this is MLK right here. It's neat to see some oranges right there. You see some butterflies flying through the orange fields, pollinating. I'll show you guys the whole city, but this is kind of on the west side of the city. See if we can get in one more time. Right here, a little hangout spot. See if I can go that way. There, cops are right over here. They're gonna let us through or not?
No, you gotta go through the street because they're.
Those are the people we interviewed last time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the South, man. Dirty South. Nice orange field right here. Alright, let's go back and see the rest of Labelle. There's a new brewery right here. We haven't gone to that yet. Somebody's on the channel's told us we gotta check it out. We haven't gone to it yet. There is a brewery. Popeyes. How about that?
I like their grilled chicken tenders.
Old school cars and they banded with the candy. Hey! 84 for 3, smoke the 28. There's a log cabin barbecue right there. We like them. They're good. Good burger. They make a good burger. Barbecue. There's also Vicky's Barbecue. Vicky Jones. Now they're from Labelle, but they opened up a new barbecue store. Actual fixed location off of Riverdale, basically 4 Mile Shores. On 80, the road we're on now. Right where Buckingham meets 80, there's a new barbecue store there they opened up. There's a historic Henry County clock at the courthouse right there. There's always a lot of semis and stuff like that through here. That business center on the left is just boarded up. The whole thing's boarded up. I don't know if they're going to do anything with that. There's Shina Uno right there. Chinese restaurant. Ragged Raccoon Tattoos. There's a Metro PCS and what? La Chiquita? There's a new Mexican restaurant? Let's see what they're rated. They also opened La Chiquita. Is that a new Mexican restaurant? I know they opened a new Cuban restaurant somewhere. School cars and they painted with the candy. Subway over here, new building on the left. The Papa John's and a liquor and a Save-A-Lot over here. Shows a Winn-Dixie if you go along that road. No Publix here though. Not that fancy. Old school cars and they painted with the Chevys. Okay, so there's a few older houses in this little neighborhood. Bit of glare, a bit of overcast is all it takes to get some glare in this screen. I hate it. There's a few kind of older houses through here. Is that showing up? No. There's a few good Mexican restaurants out here too. School cars and they painted with the candy. Forward. Is there a way we can get the Cowboy through here? So you can check out Port Labelle real quick.
Sure.
This is what average neighborhood in Labelle looks like. Kind of, well, lots of trees. This is the house we were looking at one time for 140.
Maybe.
It looks like it. Imagine if we had been able to sell our house in Naples, our trailer, earlier on when we would have got what we wanted. We would have been able to buy Labelle. The thing is, we were really looking at moving into Labelle, like really. But by the time our property in Naples sold, which took 2 years, prices had gone up considerably.
Keep heading the way you're going and you'll eventually get to Cowboy.
prices back then, what we could have got for our place in Naples would have been enough to buy an actual house here in Labelle. And so what we were trying to do was sell a mobile home in Naples and get a house in Labelle. And it would have worked out if we had sold, but the house was on the market. The mobile home in Naples that we owned was on the market for 2 years before its own. I mean, we had a lot of interest, but nobody had cash money. Everybody was trying to finance it. The banks won't touch that. Excuse me. So when we sold, there was nothing on the market in Labelle. And if you think about it, how bad that neighborhood was, it didn't even sell until the lockdowns. Right after the lockdowns, after the first lockdowns, when we were able to sell. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. It means that's what it took to sell that house. If it wasn't for that, it would probably still be on the market, because I wasn't going to let it go for less than what it was really worth. Crap, we lost $40,000 on that house between what we had in it. Is that an old red Lincoln?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's a big poop mobile. It's just sitting there too. They're not using it.
Don't get ideas.
We have enough crap on the driveway as it is.
Anymore, or the landlord's gonna be like,
What's going on here?
What's going on?
But yeah, imagine if we had got 140 for the mobile home, or 120 would have done it. Crap, there were even houses here for 80 or 90 back then.
I know.
You know, and it's just it never sold. It never sold.
Yeah.
And then when we did sell, it was during the madness, so we got our money and ran. There was nothing available anywhere in Florida.
Yeah.
Not even Sebring, which is further up, had stuff available.
They were trying to price gouge in Sebring.
Yeah, they were trying to price gouge. So it was like, you know what? I got tired of all the price gouging, and that's why I ended up at one state over. More homes back here in the woods. Dude.
I remember calling on a property in Sebring, and they're telling me that I needed to offer $50,000 over.
Asking.
Yeah,
we're billionaires.
Yeah.
Sure, we're billionaires.
I was like, nope, I'll take my money elsewhere. And I did. And then I come to look at the property. That property sold for less than asking price.
Yeah, they could have sold it to us if they weren't price gouging.
Yep.
Ain't that something? Like we had the money, we were ready to buy it.
Yeah.
And they didn't entertain our serious offer. What a crappy realtor.
Yeah.
I mean, what a horrible realtor those people had.
Yeah.
We had the money, we would have bought. You know, they hyped it up, and then they didn't sell it. They could have sold it to us then and there.
Yeah.
They would have got there. The buyer would have got, the buyer would have got the house we wanted. The seller would have got the money they needed quicker. What a horrible realtor.
Yeah.
You know? And it's been like that with a lot of properties we've looked at. And, they say that, interestingly enough, we hired the best realtor in Naples to sell, one of the best realtors in Naples, you can say, to sell that house. And that realtor couldn't sell the house.
Yeah.
And we hired a very prestigious realtor who was like, I would normally not take a property this cheap, but I'll do it for you. So this realtor had a few people that got real close, but it never came through.
Yeah.
And she's avid. She's a very avid realtor. And she couldn't sell it. Her contract expired. And then we got it. And we sold it. Like, we literally sold a house that realtor couldn't sell, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know? A house that was a cash transaction. One day, guy walked up to me and says, hey, the house is not on the market anymore. I said, it's not. I said, you want to make an offer? He offered $100,000. I came back at 107, and then we settled in the middle, right? Or I came back at 110.
Yeah.
And then we settled at 107 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember I called Dad and I said, Dad, back then our neighborhood wasn't as bad as it is now.
No.
I called Dad and I was like, Dad, I got an offer. He says, take the money and run. Get yourself out of this neighborhood. You know. And we had a little house in Ocala too that somebody was holding for us.
Yep.
And that person passed away. And then the other marriage mate didn't honor the offer because they were holding the house for us. We would have got a house in Ocala area for $70,000 in Citrus Springs.
Yep.
It just seems like timing is everything. Man.
Yeah.
Like, we really, like, our life could have been totally different.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is we had an offer for 95.
Yeah.
But I wanted more. And I could have took that offer at 95.
Yeah.
And then we could have got the house in Ocala probably.
Yeah.
It's just bad timing. Bad timing. So now we're heading into Port Labelle. As you can see, they're building houses here. They're really spread out. This is around a Cowboy heading east, and this is really spread out here. This is kind of like a. They're building it up. You know, these are all empty lots, about a quarter acre or so, averaging about a quarter acre a piece, maybe a little bit more. And this is Port Labelle. This area has had an incredible amount of new construction going in. Small homes, nothing fancy. And we've actually helped, we've put on, that I can, off the top of my head, there's at least 4 families living here that found out about this place because of our YouTube channel. So there's 4 families that have told me, and there's the ones that haven't told me, but at least 4 people have told me that they moved here because of our YouTube channel, to this little area. And they found out about this place through our YouTube channel. So these videos don't get a lot of views, but it's enough. And also, you guys know Katie's been studying for her real estate license for what, 8 months now? Mm-hmm. Something like that?
Yeah.
Go, women, get your license. But she hasn't got it yet, but she's still studying and she's doing pretty good. She's getting passing grades on her tests. That's definitely good. She's getting passing grades on her test. Well, I wanna make sure that she gets where she needs to be before she takes the state exam. Well, and but in the meantime, my sister's a realtor.
Yeah.
My sister is a realtor, and this is a great cover photo. A nice little affordable house with a little ATV in the driveway. That's a cover photo right there. These little houses, what are they going for now? Like 196? Look at this street. They're building 1, 2. They just built that. 3, 4. Like everything's going up in here. Like you can see, there's a lot of growth going on in this part of town. This is Port Labelle. Lots of growth going on in here. Lots of new houses being put in. They used to be able to get it like for how low were they? 120s, 129. One option we had back then, if we had sold, would have been to buy it for 129. We could have got a new construction. Now they're up to 200, right? Yeah. But they'll go back down. And when they go back down, we're working on fixing our credit. It wouldn't be bad if we get a little house like that out here for us. Yeah. I mean, that's a mortgage that we could afford. Yeah. If they ever go back down, even to the 140, 150. And they're building. Look at this one right here. Mm-hmm. Of course, they jack them up. And I think you notice that every time we make a video here, they jack up the prices every time we make a video. Yeah. So it seems like the people that are building some of these new houses out here are watching our YouTube channel, and every time we drop a video, they jack up their prices. Like last time they jacked it up $20,000 right after how much were $40,000?
Yeah, it's like the amount that they jack it up, they could have like given us a house by now.
Yeah, they could have pretty much. Yeah, they've made enough money to give us a house by now. Yeah. So it's like we put a lot of people on, man. They don't put us back on. That's why we got Katie studying for her real estate license. I'd be a great realtor, let's be honest. You don't think I'd be a great realtor?
You are good with people.
I gotta blow my nose.
Probably better than I am.
You don't remember when I was a salesperson at the shed place?
You did very well.
How they praised me all the time, and how all the other salespeople would get mad because their customers would come with me. Now, a good way to see what's going on in the area are places like this. Let's get out there and walk around.
I'm not included.
Here you go. You go. Yeah, when I was a salesperson at the shed place, I was pretty good at it. Had to pull permits and everything. I like how she locked me out. Like if something happens to me out here, I'm by myself. This will give you a good indication. It's like an empty lot, and you can find a lot of clues about what's going on in the area just by looking at places like this. So if you're buying a house, you can want to find out what's going on in the area. Spots like this are great indicators of what's going on in the area. And a lot of times there are homeless camps. Like when you see stuff like this, sometimes it's indicating there's people living further back in the woods. So it's definitely dangerous to do this. They might be desperate to get a car and think, right now I'm going to carjack you or whatever. All I see is water bottles, which is typical for new home construction. This all looks like the stuff see here there's like a trail, kind of lightly padded down, so there could be somebody further back in there. So you always gotta be careful with stuff like that. And again, they might be desperate to get their hands on a car. They see your car, they're like, wow, it might be a good opportunity for them to try to get their hands on a car. So I don't see anything horrendous. This all looks kind of like, what this indicates to me is that there's somebody living in the woods. You see lots of water bottles, either from the construction sites or people living in the woods. Lots of black and milds. I've already seen several, so it's definitely consistent with somebody being here a lot. So we should probably get going, since there's a good possibility there could be somebody living in the woods out here. Seems like people have been littering as well. I don't know what this is. It looks like a makeshift. Looks like somebody's definitely been littering out here. And again, just staying alert to our surroundings. It's a great opportunity for somebody living in the woods who's desperate to come carjack you. Well, seems like mostly dumping's been going on here. People have just been dumping garbage back here. Let's get back in the ride real quick. Love how Katie locked me out. That's great. But you can get these lots. Here's another opportunity with Mexican and Labelle. Empty lots. Thanks for locking me out. Appreciate how you locked me out. Like, you're safe inside, but if I'm out there...
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I have.